Hi guys, it's Lesley Tao here and welcome to my YouTube. So guys, for those that don't know me, what I am in a nutshell, I'm everything related to property. So what that means is I'm a property entrepreneur, I'm a property investor, and I also mentor and train people in different property strategies along with my business partner Trevor Cutmore. Now on my personal side, I run a management company and also a lettings business in Cambridge, and as part of my family business we also have a commercial portfolio, so we manage the commercial properties too, and we also have a training company. And what else do I do? So I also have a property sourcing company, and we also have a legal arm that looks after everything, so that's quite important. And what projects am I working on at the moment? I am working on some development projects. However, today's video is it's my first video on this topic, so bear with me guys if you already are well versed with this topic. So guys, if you haven't noticed, there's been some massive tensions between Hong Kong and China, and now the UK have gotten involved and basically opened its doors up to maybe 3 million Hong Kong citizens to come to the UK. So what's that all about? So what this video intends to do is give you guys a little bit of a background between the relationship between Hong Kong, UK, and also China, and what's led up to this point for the UK to suddenly go, hey, we're gonna let all 3 million people come from Hong Kong to the UK. So this is just a really basic overview on what's going on, and if you guys do enjoy this video, let me know in the comments below, or if I've got anything wrong, let me know. I'm just going to base it on facts and try to break it down maybe a little bit simpler so normal people can sort of understand what's going on. There's been a lot of changes, so let me just start off with, on the 22nd of July, so that was last Wednesday, the British Home Secretary announced that the new Hong Kong BNO, so that stands for British National Overseas, BNO Visa, will give British National Overseas citizens from Hong Kong the ability to come to the UK and make a new life. And the UK will be making a new immigration route for BNO citizens from Hong Kong, which reflects the unique and unprecedented circumstances in Hong Kong and UK's historical and moral commitments to BNOs, and to allow BNO citizens who normally reside in Hong Kong and their immediate family members to move to the UK to work and study. So that's quite a lot, isn't it, guys? So what I intend to do, guys, is that I normally release a video every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. And if this topic is one, because there's a lot of stuff going on and I don't mind doing the research and giving the commentary on it and breaking it down so we can all understand it a bit better, because this is going to have a massive impact on the housing and economic and social environment within the UK as well. So I'm going to provide my analysis on all of that, and if I can provide any advice, that'd be helpful. So if you've got any Hong Kong citizens or people in the UK who wants to know how that's going to impact them, let me know in the comments below, and I will see what I can do. But this particular video is going to give you guys more of an overview on what's been happening, so a little bit like a beginner's entry video, and so what I'm going to cover in this video is I'm going to talk about the brief history between the UK, Hong Kong and China. I'm going to, number 2, talk about why the UK have taken such drastic measures to provide a passageway to Hong Kong citizens with BNO visas into the UK. So what has happened? And number 3, what is a BNO and who has one? So it might not be in that order, by the way, but this video is about explaining those sort of 3 topics. Now in my follow-up videos, these are the kind of topics which I'm thinking about doing, and it needs me to go into and examine certain new immigration policies and visa policies, so I can break it down and explain it in a bit more layman's terms of what that means. So what I intend to do in my next videos, which I will dedicate maybe Wednesday to this issue, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel, by the way, and click that notification bell if this is a subject that is of interest to you. So what else I intend to cover includes I'm going to examine the new Hong Kong British National Overseas Visa policy, and also the further guidance that's been released by the UK government on the new immigration route for BNO citizens in Hong Kong to UK. So I'm going to be examining that with my legal eye. So for those that don't know me, I used to work in law, be a lawyer, and something that I used to love doing, which is the skill set that I'm going to implement for this kind of exercise, is I'm going to review the government's policies, so their guidances, and try and break that down into more simple terms so normal people can understand what's going on. So enabled to, you know, take advantage of that, you've got to make sure you're subscribed, okay? So make sure that happens now. Right, so let's get started, guys. So let's talk about the brief history between the UK, Hong Kong and China. And, you know, there's a lot of history there. So what it is, in a nutshell, Hong Kong was a previous British colony, and it was handed back to China in 1997. So if we go back a little bit, there was a series of wars which, when China still had an emperor, okay, and it was still in the sort of emperor dynasty, that it fought against the West, and these were known as the Opium Wars. Now, in the first Opium War, China lost and it conceded, so it handed Hong Kong to Britain. Sorry, I was about to say the UK, but I'll just say to Britain, okay? So it handed Hong Kong to Britain. So Hong Kong was under British rule for 156 years approximately, until Margaret Thatcher, who was, you know, known as the Iron Woman, very famous conservative and female Prime Minister of the UK, or should I say Britain. So that was in 1984 when she signed this treaty, so a sort of agreement between the Britain and the Chinese government. So this was known as the what's it called? The Sino-British Joint Declaration. Let's just call it the agreement for to make things simpler. So that was signed between Britain and China to hand Hong Kong back, and Hong Kong was actually handed back on the 1st of July 1997. So it's you know, Hong Kong is very well known in the world and in Asia. It's a financial hub, and you know, it's a very developed country, if I can call it a country. So it's a very developed country and very popular in Asia. It has a very, you know, special status, I would say, because it used to be a British colony. It's got some good infrastructure in place, but at the same time, it's got the Chinese influence too. So it's a kind of like a bubbling melting pot at the moment, which has exploded. So what I mean by that, is that, you know, over most recent years, okay, more recent years, there's been, you know, building tension concerning the government in Hong Kong and the growing Chinese influence, which the, let's say, Hong Kong citizens haven't been all very happy about. And especially this is in relation to an extradition law which was proposed in 2019, so last year, to Hong Kong, and it got rejected, or it got swiftly moved off the shelf because there was such a big public outcry as people felt that this was infringing on their human rights. So and since then there's just been outcry and protest after protest and protest, and it's been quite violent in Hong Kong as well because of all the protesting. And then obviously this year we've had the coronavirus, so it's just been a bit of a downward spiral really. So guys, what is the BNO visa and who has one? So anyone in Hong Kong who was born before the handback date, which was the 1st of July 1997, can apply for the British National Overseas Passport / Visa, which is known as the BNO. And this also applies to their spouses, their any underage children, so under the age of 18, okay? And what this does, the BNO passport allows them to visit Britain and stay here for 6 months, okay? So that's quite good, but it doesn't necessarily allow them to work and settle here, okay? So it's just a rite of passage into UK. And under the sort of new arrangement though, what this will mean is that they will be able to live and work in the UK for 5 years and then later apply for settled status and then later citizenship. So it's a new immigration route that the UK have opened up to BNO passport holders. Now, there's about 3 million people in terms of BNO passport holders. So there's about 3 million that are eligible for this, okay? So it's another, I don't think all of them are going to take them up. I think there's going to be quite a lot of people who probably want to, stay in Hong Kong because they've grown up there, they've born there, and they don't want to move the country. But there's also a really, there's a wave of people who are considering coming over and taking advantage of this because of the massive protesting and unrest and at the moment in Hong Kong, and sometimes it's turned violent. So at the moment it's a bit of a scary place to be living, and there's also some people who don't really want to come under Chinese rule. So what has happened, guys? Why has the UK taken such drastic measures to provide this right of passage, of immigration to Hong Kong BNO holders to come and settle here? So what's been going on? Well, so why has the UK taken such drastic measures? Well, this all happened at the beginning of July, or it might be the end of June. In a nutshell, what had happened was China basically imposed a new national security law in Hong Kong, and there was, again, the public or the citizens of Hong Kong felt that, their human rights had been eroded on, and someone was arrested who was protesting in Hong Kong displaying a Union Jack. So they were actually arrested by the police for basically calling for Hong Kong's independence. So UK's sort of position is that this new national security law breaches the Sino-British joint declaration that was signed with Margaret Thatcher in power, okay? Boris Johnson stated when all this took off that this new security law violates Hong Kong's high degree of autonomy and is directly in conflict with Hong Kong's basic law. This law also threatens freedoms and rights protected by the joint declaration. We made it clear, Mr. Speaker, if China continued down this path, we would introduce a new route for those with British national overseas status to enter into the UK, granting them limited leave to remain with the ability to live and work in the UK and thereafter apply for citizenship. And that is precisely what we will do now. So now we're coming to the end of July, and this is precisely what Britain have done, by the way. And it's been really interesting because I don't actually think that we've seen anything like this, or I haven't seen anything like this in my lifetime. I'm sitting here as a third generation Taiwanese family in the UK, and we migrated over in the late 60s. And if you guys are from Hong Kong, hopefully you can understand some English. If not, let me know, because I will try and get it subtitled, or my following video subtitled in Chinese, if that helps. But let me know how I can help. So if you guys want some information on whether it be on housing, schooling, renting, give me a shout. I will see how we can cover these topics in the upcoming videos. So guys, sorry, that was a little bit of a deviation. So just back to this, I think the UK sentiments have been very clear, and we've got this route of a right of immigration passage now that's provided to potentially 3 million Hong Kong citizens who are eligible for the BNO Visa / passport. Now guys, obviously China's not been too happy, and there's been quite a lot of political, and I'm not going to get into the politics so much because I want my channel and this video to be really more about how we can offer some advice to help people who might potentially coming over. I do see this, by the way, as a great thing for the UK economy, because citizens from Hong Kong, they generally got a really good reputation, very hardworking, and they would be a great addition to the economy and society here. And obviously there's going to be some economic, social and real estate / property impacts that will come along, some good, some bad, but we've got a free forum here, freedom of speech, so let's talk about it, let's explore it. So what's been China's reaction? So China's had quite a big hit, and it's some of it's from the Hong Kong situation, which as I've painted out has been quite a big issue, because Hong Kong was a leading country, financial country. It's a hub where all businesses, or well-known businesses, global, international businesses, would need to have a branch or some sort of headquarters in Hong Kong, and that's because it was a desirable location with great sort of legal infrastructures, right? So China's responded back, and this is what they have said. So this is at the moment there's a threat in what in China's reaction, okay? But nothing's been carried out yet, so we need to see how this plays out. Now, China has threatened to stop recognizing the BNO passports held by Hong Kong residents as valid travel documents. So China has basically condemned the pledge to extend visa rights. So I've got a little statement from Wang Wenbing. Am I saying that right? Wang Wenbing, who is a spokesperson for China's foreign ministry. And what he said is, because the UK first violated its promises, China will consider not recognizing the BNO passport as a valid travel document and will reserve the right to take further countermeasures. So this is you know, a little bit worrying because obviously it looks like UK and China are going straight into loggerheads with each other, and we will need to see, you know, whether this is actually going to prevent Hong Kong citizens with BNO status from actually being able to enter into the UK now. So I think, guys, if you are thinking of going down this route, it's, you know, a matter of maybe moving a little bit faster, because, you know, you can't predict what China's going to do. Now, I believe that, you know, the doors will start opening for the immigration aspects from January 2021. At the moment, I think they're still putting the policy or the immigration aspects of the immigration policy together. And as promised, guys, I will look back again and analyze, because this was released only last week. So I will examine the new Hong Kong British National Overseas Visa Policy Statement, okay, and also the further guidance on the new immigration route for BNO citizens from Hong Kong into the UK. So I will examine that in a bit more detail. So something that's going to be really interesting for all of us to really, you know, comment on is, you know, how are the influx of Hong Kong BNO passport holders or visa holders to Britain impact the housing market here, and also possible other social and economic factors. And as with anything, guys, there's always pros and always cons, but as I mentioned, I want this to be an open forum where we can discuss things openly. And, you know, those that are considering coming over from Hong Kong, do let me know whether there's any subjects you would like me to cover that might be able to help you guys. Now, the things that, you know, I'm thinking of is you probably want to sort of understand like which areas might be, or which cities might be desirable for you guys if you're coming with your families to live, and what are the schools like here. So if that's of any interest, give me a shout. The last sort of bit of steerance or guidance I'm going to give you guys is I think that maybe you guys should come to the UK and not buy property yet. I know there's some stamp duty reductions and exemptions that were announced, because I made a few videos about this a few weeks ago, but I think it might be a better idea if you just understood, you know, the environment and the culture here a bit better before you commit to buying, and, you know, get to understand which cities you and your family might want to live in, and, you know, what the schools are like here. So if you go and buy a property in a city that you've never lived in, but based off recommendations, you might not like it there. You might decide you don't want to live there, and you want to move your family to another city. So I would suggest that maybe you rent somewhere, to be honest, for the first year, and, you know, get to know your surrounding city and environment a bit better, build up your community so you've got support and you've got knowledge, you know, so that nobody can take knowledge away from you. So I think that would be a good starting point. Now, guys, so as I said, please comment below, because I need to know what topics you would like me to cover so I can do some research. But I will be, you know, looking at the government website for the immigration stuff to break it down a bit to see whether that would help. So guys, if you like this video, do me a massive favor, please smash the like button, because it really helps with the algorithm. And I think the more people that see this, whether you are based here in the UK or you're in Hong Kong, the more people that see this, the better, because I'm happy for you guys to criticize me, and if there's anything I can do better, I will work on it, because I think this is such an important topic. It's really history breaking, and me, we are sort of third generation Taiwanese Brits. We migrated over, and, you know, we were very lucky that the Oriental community in England then helped us as well. So if there's any way I can give back and get some more information out there that you guys can digest, do let me know, okay? You smash the like button for the algorithm. At least hopefully this video will appear in more searches, and, you know, I can make better videos to try and, you know, help and give some advice if needed, or a good steer. All right, guys, so this is Lesley Tao from the UK, and I'm checking out. Lots of love, peace, blessings, and good health to everybody. Bye.